gone over this many times in our 5+ years of chatting about James Bond on the podcast. We've interviewed obviously Andreas, who's told us about it, but John Glenn as well. And I think what they both said is all the footage, of course, from the amazing stunts here. These are some of the best stunts on any film ever, I think. You've got those in the bag, and then John Glenn, of course, has got it all lined up, every single shot for Andreas and Tim to do and put. So it's all edited in his head as usual, and that's why it works so well because it does feel so constructed. Every shot seems to be the correct one to be using. No one watching this would speak. How can you possibly be talking through this scene? This is some of the most death-defying stunts and incredible location of a fight. So it starts when, at this point, the bomb is still there, but really we've dealt with most of the mission, and the audience might be thinking, "Oh, it's a bit disappointing." You know, Koskov isn't dead. Whitaker, what's that? Oh, and Necros, what? Forgotten about him. And then, of course, because he's done that shot, John Glenn, he could have jumped onto the plane, but we don't. You wouldn't notice that the first time, no chance. Then all of a sudden, it's like a jump scare, isn't it? Necros is there, and we're away. And the first part of the fight is Bond really up against it, back to him, thing over his head.
It starts as a traditional fight and very quickly moves into something far more ambitious. There's certain fights that you will watch because you are obsessed with the movements, you are obsessed with the use of materials, you are obsessed with the actual fight itself, the claustrophobic nature of something. This you don't watch for the fight. In some ways, the fight is the reason for the stunts. In some ways,
Yeah,
like
oh yeah.
you know, like this is the fact that anyone's even attempting to punch someone while dangling off a rope in midair is outrageous in itself. If you wanted to like create a masterpiece, this is how you do it. If you look at every single aspect of this that's going on between the two people fighting, the score, the location, the idea of a ticking time bomb,
Kara struggling to fly the plane.
pulling a lever down because she thinks that's going to take it down, and that actually opening up the jeopardy. The obvious physics then of this rope and bag swinging in midair as it would, and them climbing round, cutting open the bag, so then you've all got it spraying everywhere. There's certain fights you can't finish this fight with a physical confrontation. This has got to be done within the boundaries of what's going on. So to actually do it by Necros holding on to a shoe and Bond cutting the shoe, there couldn't be a better way ever to do it. I don't think there could. I think it's the perfect way to do it. And the scream that goes with it. It's one of the best stunts in the series. It's one of the best fights in the series. It's one of the best scenes in the series. It's one of the best films in the series. It's one of the best films of all time. Perfection. I mean, we may as well just give up making films now. Never going to reach this standard, is it?
I think it's seamless in between how you've got obviously the literal stunt, of the guys hanging out the plane, how many thousand feet, and then the inserts of the actors fighting, and struggling to hold on to this rope and all the sacks and everything. I say I don't know what else to add really, because it's just a flawless scene for me, and I think you made a really interesting point about that actually traditionally you probably would have had more of a fist fight. I think nowadays you would have Necros and Bond have a fight on the back of the plane. This is more of a struggle that leads to a set piece. There's more of a kind of just basically trying to stay alive, which is quite different to sort of other traditional kind of fights. It does sort of lean more towards a view to a kill in that kind of sense. That it's still very grounded, but the set piece is just like mind blowing in the sense that there's so much danger, not only in plot wise. You've got a trained killer You've got hanging out the back of a plane, being piloted by someone who doesn't know how to fly, and you've also got a bomb about to go off. It just like the stakes just don't really get any higher than this. And I think that is that. Let's say that's where Glenn and the team that he worked with were just absolutely spot on every time. It's just understanding the essence of what makes a Bond film, and placing it, at that time. And I think that the fight, it feels genuine. It feels like I say there's high stakes. The fact that you get this highly trained killer basically begging for his life by the end of it is terrifying. He knew it. He went there to kill Bond. He didn't have to get on the plane. He went and chased him. And then suddenly the circumstances are completely different. He didn't think he was going to be hanging out at the back of this plane. For him to be doing that and screaming, is actually, it's fairly dark. But I just think it's perfect. And if anyone hasn't listened to the review, I'd recommend you listen to How Many Hours, because I think that it's so difficult to do justice to this film. It's a perfect film. It is for what it set out to achieve. It did it absolutely perfectly, and I personally cannot think of how you could possibly change it to make it better than it already is. It's a jewel in the crown of the Bond series.
We've heard the theme before, the Necros' theme, based on the melody of "Where's Everybody Gone." Here, though, it's that end of it for me that you've got the synth and it's sort of ticking over, isn't it? Literally, like, duh, 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 duh. But then the duh, duh. So you're like, oh, this is it now. Bond isn't going to die in the back of your head, but how's this going to end? What on earth's going on? And duh, duh, duh. It's it's so good, isn't it? No dialogue in any of this. Just unbelievable music, unbelievable sound editing, the sound effects of the wind, the hatch sort of coming down, the things flying in your face. That's another thing. I think the score picks up when that starts to happen because you're like,
Mm.
this can't go on forever now because they just can't hang on of a net with nothing in it forever. So one of them's going to fall. And that shot, I mean, why is it not spoken of? But the shot of behind Necros
Mm.
falling with the boot looks exactly like Andreas Wisniewski, and then a really long shot of him blood curdling scream.